you're a musician and you're not currently using Reels on Instagram to showcase your performances, then in this video, I'm going to explain why you need to change that. What is up everyone? My name is Chris Harvey. Thanks for stopping by my channel and thanks for tuning in to this video. As I mentioned in the intro, today we are talking about Instagram Reels. I'm going to go through everything you need to know about how to utilize this feature to maximize your reach and your growth. I'm going to explain a couple of things that you'll need to think about when creating content for Reels, and I'm just going to give you the lowdown in case you haven't come across this feature already. So last year, I believe it was, Instagram released a new feature called Reels, and for me personally, I believe this is Instagram trying to steal a piece of the pie back away from TikTok, who have been kind of utilizing this Reels type feature on their platform really successfully. And with Instagram wanting to remain relevant and stay in the game, that's a move that Instagram needed to make. When Instagram releases a new feature, it is super important that you jump on it and use it as often as you can. This will give you what I like to call algorithm points, which is just basically my way of saying that Instagram is going to favor your account more if you are kind of using all of the new features that Instagram creates. Reels have their own tab on your Instagram account, and you can actually choose whether to have the reel be featured on your main grid or if you want it to just basically live in that reel section of your account. So that's actually quite good. It gives us flexibility to decide where that sits in terms of our brand. And I've been doing a few tests over the last few weeks just to try and see what all the fuss is about. Do they really make a difference? Do you really reach more accounts if you use Reels as opposed to normal video content? Well, let's find out. Now, I've been using a combination of videos and Reels to showcase my performance videos, and the results have actually been really surprising. So, tip number one, create content that is specific to Reels. Now, what I mean by that is that you need to think about the dimensions of your video, especially if you're going to be recording your content on a camera and making it look professional. There are certain things that you'll need to consider to make sure that it's optimized for the aspect ratio of Reels. Now, this has caught me out a couple of times. When a reel is kind of shown on the Reels tab on your account, or when it's seen through the kind of Reels feature on the Explore page, the actual aspect ratio is going to be 1080 by 1920, so it's a fairly large vertical post. If we compare that to the largest aspect ratio for a standard video, which is 1080 by 1350, you'll see that they're quite a bit bigger. And if you're going to post the actual reel onto your grid, then you have to remember that those squares on your grid are 1080 by 1080. So there are a few things here that we need to think about. If you are going to include text in your reel, I think it's super important to make sure that it's within the kind of 1080 by 1080 area of that particular video. What that basically ensures is that if you are going to post that particular reel to your grid, that all of the text and the graphics that you choose to use are going to be visible for the end user. I also see a lot of people kind of recycling video content for Reels, and when the aspect ratio doesn't match up, you know, if you kind of see a landscape video in a reel, I just don't think that it looks particularly professional. So I definitely want to make sure that you're all kind of having that in mind when you're creating your videos. Now, I mentioned earlier that Instagram is going to favor your account more if you utilize all the features that they make available. And within Reels, there is the option to add stickers and add GIFs and graphics. And I definitely recommend that you all do that and don't just leave it as the kind of raw video file that you've kind of imported from your phone. We have to remember that although we are kind of in the music community within Instagram, that Instagram is inherently a visual platform. Now, I know what you're all thinking, Chris, stop harping on about all of these tips. Tell us the cold hard facts. Do Reels perform better than videos? Okay, let's do this. So, let's take a standard video that I post using the kind of old school video post method on Instagram. Now, at the time of recording this video, I have around 1,500 followers. I tend to get between maybe 150 and 200 likes per video, and in terms of video views, for the kind of normal run-of-the-mill video post that you can put on Instagram, I tend to get between maybe 500 and 1,000 views on those videos. The hashtags that I used were pretty much the same selection of hashtags that I always use, and I adopted the same approach when I created a reel. So I shot it on the same camera, I edited it in the same way, I used the same kind of caption, and I used the same hashtags. And for that particular post, I've just recently, having put it up maybe sort of 2 or 3 weeks ago, have now hit over 10,000 views on that reel. That's right, 10,000. Now I know what you're thinking, well, views are just views, but what's the actual engagement like? Well, that particular reel got nearly 500 likes. So those views are converting into engagement. Now, I didn't want this to just be a fluke or just a one-off. So I continued for a couple of weeks to kind of adopt this approach of posting a video and then posting a reel and kind of alternating. And consistently, reels were getting more and more plays than videos. But why are reels getting so many more plays than just normal video posts? And I think it comes down to kind of longevity more than anything else. It seems reels just get pushed out more and more and more, whereas video posts and just normal posts on Instagram, you know, you post it, it maybe is kind of top of the hashtags for like a day or so, and then it's pretty much forgotten about. But I think reels inherently work differently. I think reels do keep getting pushed out to a wider and wider audience. That's why my reel that got over 10,000 plays was getting consistent plays every day for 3 weeks, and it's still continuing to grow now. And I think that's awesome. So if you are wanting to maximize your growth and you're wanting to reach more people without having to really necessarily put out more and more content to kind of reach those numbers, then reels are going to do really well for you. Now, I think reels do have some limitations that are maybe putting some creators off using them. For one, there aren't actually any insights attached to reels at the moment, so it's hard to really get an accurate measure of what their potential is in terms of kind of reach and things like that. We can just see the number of plays that they've had, but that is, I think, a good indication of how much the word is being spread. Now, another limitation is the duration. Duration is definitely something that us musicians and creators need to think about, because if we are doing a performance and we need to think about, you know, the time in which we can perform within, then that is something that is important. And obviously the shorter that window to perform, the more difficult it is to kind of hit the key aspects of our performances that we want to showcase. But that's why I was mentioning earlier about the importance of just having an approach to creating content that is specific to reels. I'm definitely going to be pushing forward with reels. I've seen really, really great results, and I definitely know that you guys will too. So just experiment, try it out, try incorporating it into your normal content strategies, and leave a comment down below and let me know how reels are working out for you. If you do have any questions, make sure that you leave a comment and I will make sure to get back to you. And if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I will see you all next Tuesday for another video.